Hello everyone and welcome back to Meeple Leaf Reviews. I'm Jeffrey.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we're doing another before and after, this time of Islebound.
That's right.
From Red Raven Games. So if you haven't seen before and after before, what we do is we take a look at our game before and after our very first play, giving you our expectations and then first impressions.
Exactly.
So Jacob, what are your expectations for Islebound?
I don't know. I don't have a lot of expectations for this game. It seemed average.
Right.
When I saw the Kickstarter, this is like one that I didn't back, and I really like Red Raven Games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he hasn't let us down yet, so I was just like, you know, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a good game, but. You know, you went over the rules. Everything seemed to fit. Everything seemed to work. It was functional, and it looked like it would be an all right game.
Right. And for me, I'm kind of going in a little bit apprehensive.
Okay.
I want the next City of Iron level
Sure.
game. I want something that has that depth, that meaty decisions in it. And again, after reading the rules and looking at everything, I don't think this game is going to offer that.
No, I don't think so either.
And the previous games from him, The Ancient World, Above and Below, and Artifacts Inc. that I've tried, they haven't met that level either.
Right.
So I'm just expecting this one's just going to be the same. It's
Okay.
just it's going to fall short of where I want it to be, and it'll probably just be an okay, good game.
Yeah, it seems fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
You go around, you gather some resources, you upgrade those into victory points, and that's what the game is.
Right.
You know, it doesn't seem like there's some in-depth strategy, and there's going to be some mentally brain-racking choices that you're going to be making over the course of the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be just straightforward.
And teaching you guys wasn't that hard either.
No.
Because you move and then you do an action.
Right.
You either visit, attack, do diplomacy with a town, or you just take a bunch of coins that's been building up.
Sure.
So there isn't like multi-part actions there. It's just you move, you do an action where you land.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. So pretty straightforward. It's just going to be a good game, I think.
All right. Well, let's get it to the table, try it, and then we'll come back and tell you guys what we think of Islebound.
All right. We'll see you in a few.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We just finished our play of Islebound.
We sure did.
And I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Watching you play this game,
Right.
You looked miserable.
Right.
So,
It wasn't
were you
a
miserable?
great time. I wouldn't say it was miserable, but I was just like, let's get this over with, kind of.
Right.
I had a hard time getting out of the gate in this game.
Right.
So we started off, and I did like this quick burst of, oh yeah, I'm going here, I'm doing this, I buy this, I spend my money getting, resources and going to these places. And then from that point on, I could not get any money, and I could not progress throughout the rest of the game. Because the game is you get money, so you can spend that money to get more money.
Yeah, and really the ways to get money is to either attack a town, and you went the attacking route.
I went military route, which did not work for me at all.
And I think, too, if you go the other way, the diplomacy, you know how much you have. So you know that you're going to succeed or not.
Right.
But with military, you're going in and you don't know. You're rolling dice, and then you might be able to do it, you might not be able to get there. And then when you take over a town, depending on how difficult that town is, that's how much money you get.
Right.
So I was going around, I did the diplomacy route.
Sure.
I was going around, I was taking over all these towns, getting lots of money, buying lots of buildings. And it's actually interesting that you were saying that you're just, all right, let's just get this game over with. I was just buying buildings to end the game.
Right.
I was just like, I want this game to be over. And I was just buying buildings to end it because that's the end game trigger, is when someone has their 8th building, the game is over.
Right. And that's just what you're doing throughout the game. You're just walking through, getting resources, buying buildings, and then the game ends.
Yeah.
That's, there's not a lot to it. With the military, the problem that I saw there was it's extremely random. It's all chance. The best military unit in the game you have to roll a 3 or higher to get any strength out of it. So if you roll a 1s or 2s for that unit, it does nothing for you. You get 0 strength.
I think if you were to go military, you need a good balance of the pirates and the sea serpents.
I would say,
because if you did that, then you'd use your high dice on your sea serpents, and even if you did roll a 1, it would at least give you a strength with a pirate.
Yeah, but then you have the problem of how, you decide before you go into battle how many units you're spending, and so you can say, okay, well, I'm just spending all my units, but then they're all gone after that battle is over. I think there needs to be some sort of system implemented there in where you're not expending them all, you just lose X amount of them, so you can build up and you're not wasting everything on a chance roll.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I would say that with going military, you could get some early success. Yeah. And some quick success rather than having to build up the influence.
Yeah, because to get influence, there's different events around the board. So you need to go get the stuff that you need to do those.
Right. Go
to those locations, then complete them to get your cubes on the little influence track.
Exactly. And then build up enough on that influence track because it starts off with low amounts and then gets higher. Mm-hmm. So you need to build up enough to get enough to conquer an island, whereas with military, if you were lucky, you would only need 2 units. Yeah. And you can get 2 units pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could rush with military, but it's all chance. And then, as Jeffrey was saying, influence is the sure thing. You know you have it when you go in. And you don't have to, because if you lose military, well, you've wasted a turn. And then that's another turn everyone else gets to build up. You lose one of your units as well if you fail in military. You don't lose them all, but you lose one, and then if you succeed, you lose them all. So then you have to go and build up those military base again in order to do it again. So military is just kind of like a side thing. You cannot go full military, I don't think, in this game.
Right. Yeah, for me, the game, like I said in the before section, it was okay.
Right.
I wanted depth, and that's where I think this game let me down, is I don't feel there's a whole lot of depth in this game.
No, I don't see it either.
You move, you go around, you take an action, it's very straightforward. You pay, this to get this, or you just gain these resources, and then buy buildings, 8 buildings triggers the end of the game, and then that's it. And even the buildings, some of the different abilities, so they can kind of make you build up like an asymmetrical nature to yourself.
Yeah.
Those didn't have very much impact. Even though I had 8 of them, actually I ended the game with 9 buildings. I didn't feel like they had that much of an impact on what I was doing. So I was just buying buildings to buy buildings at that point.
Yeah, they're just little small buffs to help you throughout the game. Oh, when you go to this location, you get 1 additional wood. Well, that's not amazing, but okay, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not getting a whole lot out of it there.
No. And the other thing that I completely forgot.
Well, I'm going to talk about something here. The one thing I felt was I didn't have good choices. I looked across the board at all these islands and all these actions I could take, and I was like, I don't want to do any of these. None of these seem good to me. Or I don't have the resources or money to be able to do them, so it's just like, oh, well, whatever.
Right.
So I just felt like it was a game full of poor choices, and I didn't want to do any of them, and it was just like, well, let's take the best of these poor choices that I have. Whereas if you have a game with like just lucrative opportunities all bounding out everywhere, you're just like, oh man, what do I do? In this one, I was just like, it doesn't really matter what I do. I guess I'll go over here.
Right.
That's how I felt anyways when on my side.
Right. And the other thing that I was going to say about the asymmetry.
Sure.
So you start out with a different home port in the game.
Right.
I never once visited my own home port. I was like, oh, I can get a pirate if I go here. Never once did I go back there.
Right.
So it wasn't even like that played a factor into it. Nobody visited it for me. And that was the other thing I found in this game. So we played 3-player.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 2 to 4 player game. So we did have more than just 2 people on the map. And I had, I don't know, like 6 different
I think you had five
different towns. I don't think anyone ever visited a town that I owned.
Right.
So owning them to get the benefit of people visiting them didn't even really play a factor into it either.
Right. The only time you'd ever go there is to conquer it, really, so then you own it. And that seems like that's about it.
Yeah, and we had very different experiences. You had a poor game filled with bad decisions or bad choices.
Yeah.
You didn't do all that well. I think I quadrupled your your score.
Yeah.
And I was just going around like making money, buying buildings, conquering towns left, right, and center. And even still, even though I did really well, I was just like, I figured out this game.
Right.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else that I haven't solved to bring me back to it a second time.
Oh, really? So you wouldn't even want to play it again?
No, I don't see the need.
Right.
Because I feel like I would be just doing the exact same thing again.
Right.
With no real different decisions to make. So the thing that keeps me coming back to a game is when I feel like there's more room to explore.
Sure.
There, and this I felt like I've explored it all in one play.
Well. For me, since I did so poorly, I definitely want to try it again just because I feel like with such a bad experience, I haven't really delved into the game yet.
Right.
And I want to have like more of an opinion on it rather than the limited one that I have right now. So I do want to play it for that, but it's not calling me, oh man, there's a lot there, you need to come play this game again. Right. It's more like, is it really not this fun? Or like, let's try this again.
Right. Yeah, so for me, after my first play, my first impression was that it was an okay game. Like, it wasn't bad by any means. Like, there was nothing, I didn't feel anything was broken about the game. It flowed well, but there just wasn't anything left for me to explore. And so it's just an okay game that doesn't make me want to come back to it.
Right. For me, I was a little let down. I was expecting a lot more out of this game than what I got, and even what I foresee if I were to play it again in the future. I don't think it would raise the bar like extravagantly.
Right.
It would just like a couple steps up maybe, but it's so low right now as it is that first play just didn't do anything for me.
All right, well, that's Islebound by Red Raven Games. If any of that sounded like it's your speed, then check it out. I mean, I definitely think people should look into it. It's just not my style of game. There just wasn't enough there for me. Yeah. But that doesn't. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just an okay game for me.
Even from my poor play, it didn't come across as a board it didn't come across as a board game. It didn't come across as a poor game. Right. I didn't enjoy it. My experience was just kind of soured.
Right. All right. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at MeepleLeaf. Yeah, just MeepleLeaf. I wanted to say .com there. At MeepleLeaf. Go down to the description down below as well. Go to our board game links and give us some hearts so other people can find us.
All right. See you guys next time.
Take care.